name's Bobby Howitt, and I'm from Gibsons, BC, off of the coast of Vancouver, and I am 53 years old. I had gastric cancer over a year ago, and I was very lucky that I had a doctor be thorough with the symptoms I had. They went in and found a 6-centimeter polyp in my stomach. So they went to go remove it a couple months later, and they had gone in again. It was stage 3 cancer. So I have no stomach. So it's very rare to find cancer soon enough in the stomach, enough to have your stomach taken out. So I have my esophagus attached right to my small intestine. Now I had no help with that all this year because nobody's had a patient survive it. And I'm talking, not even exaggerating, not one doctor. And you ask anybody in this clinic, they've never had a patient with it either. It's such an uncommon thing. So I had to figure it out on my own for the last year. I was considered cancer-free when they took the stomach out. They took some lymph nodes out at the same time, and a couple of them had cancer cells. So they call that stage 1 cancer, which all of us have. What we just don't need, they wanted to prevent that to going into more cancer. Long story short, I had a cyst on my left ovary that they waited till I was done chemo. I had to do 8 months of brutal chemo that just about killed me. It was horrible. They took my ovaries out, and there was stomach cancer in the ovaries. So that was another rare thing. They never heard of it. So it was like, okay, they took my ovaries out, that was it. I was put on a check mark list, you're done in our medical system. And initially I was given 6 months or 2 to 5 years. When they found the gastric cancer in the ovaries, when they sent them away and they did some imaging, I had some spots on my liver and some spots on my lungs. Well, they're so minute that why aren't I given a chance to do an immune system in your country, you know, like in Canada? This was done in a 5-minute conversation with my doctor you have 6 months to a year to live, get your affairs in order, get your palliative care, I'm like, I feel really good. I'm not gonna let anybody tell me how long I have to live. So I happened to have a client come in the next day after I was diagnosed, and he said, why don't you try this clinic? He had friends that have gone through it that, you know, I've seen it in 30 or 40 years of doing hair. People given 6 months live, 10 years. So I came here, and you know what? I feel really good. I've done a program that they don't know how it's going to respond because they haven't had a patient, and I responded really well. It's been the most awesome experience here. If it wasn't for this client, I believe in higher power, I would have just accepted their diagnosis and gone on and made my affairs. What sucks about medical system is we think that they're God. We're born, we're trained to, this is just, you go see a doctor once a year, you get your physicals, and then, oh, you got something wrong, here's some pills, away you go. And there's no fixing the actual immune system, it's being compromised. From what? Who the heck knows? Hereditary, whatever. These guys they're focusing on your immune system to fight the cancer. That's what means a lot to me. And if it wasn't for that client, I wouldn't be here. I booked the next day. When he told me that, I said, screw it. If I got another chance to live. Now, my doctor said, why waste your money? And I'm like, I didn't ask you about your, opinion even. I said, I'm just letting you know what I'm doing so that you're aware of it. That was my physician. And then my cancer doctor, she didn't close their mind completely, but they have written me off because statistically, people don't live longer than 6 months to a year with whatever cancer. I don't believe that. I just think that they put me in a category of 80-year-old people because that's usually when they find stomach cancer. So I'm gonna fight this, this is my life. I mean, I shouldn't be alive right now. Statistically, I should be dead. And I did survive it, and I have survived a year without a stomach. And I eat the way we're supposed to, actually, to tell you the truth, small amounts and more often. And you know what? I just don't think that our medical system is God. And we have choices to try alternative treatments, and especially something that's focused on our immune system. That means a lot to me, I have a thyroid condition, I have, a skin condition. Those are all autoimmune. Well, why aren't we dealing with the autoimmune system? Not, okay, you got a thyroid condition, let's just give you some drugs, right? Well, that's okay, but we still can work on our immune system to help our thyroid, right? As far as the medical system now, I'm a write-off because I'm not going to make them any more money in the pharmaceuticals. That was a huge thing too, what it cost me to have cancer. We think, oh, our medical's covered. Well, the only thing I ever got covered in the chemo was the chemo stuff. I was paying $500 a month just for anti-nausea medication, and I can't even get sick. Like literally, I just heave, I have nothing to get sick. So it was bad, like, they're horrible. I was not approved for immune treatment either there because of the type of cancer I had. And I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna fight that. You know, I'm gonna fight that in our medical system. Oh, I have a right to try it, being a very rare case of this cancer. And I want to prove too that these kind of clinics will make a difference. I can't say enough, having owned my own business, a hair salon for 30 years of my life. We were just talking to the doctor, the head doctor here. He dresses phenomenal. He's the first thing you see when you come into this, you know, he's the one you talk to on the phone. That's important, that's your first impression. And every day he comes in to see how everybody's doing himself. He's not just staying in his desk and going, okay, well, you can delegate everything. It's positive, they care about you. The doctors come and talk to you, you know. I've got a lot of scar tissue from this surgery, and this is another big hiccup. I'm in major pain from scar tissue from doing such a bad surgery, taking my ovaries out. So everything is compressing on nerves. I have neuropathy. Well, that's okay. These guys help me immediately get it to a point where I can manage it till I get home. You think that would have happened in Canada? No way. These guys were on it. Every single person in here, I hats off to all of them. You know, I will recommend this. I got 2 people already coming that will come because of my experience going there. And my testimonies on Facebook, you know, just letting people know, listen, like this is, you know, this is awesome. And I will come back. You know, if I need to come back and do tune-ups or whatever, there's no price tag on our life, you know, unless it's way outside of your means, you know, you have to draw the fine line. This donation thing, I would have never done that, you know. I had to humble myself to accept donations instead of me being the one doing all the fundraising, you know, for cancer. And I specialized in cancer patients and helping them with their hair and getting wigs for them. So it was like, a different experience to be the person that had the cancer. I had no clue about alternative treatment. That's what I liked hearing. Somebody to tell me that, because I didn't know. So if I were going to say anything that people need to know, find out about it. If I have to say anything to them about why I'm going, it's because I have to try something else. I have to try something more than the medical system, because here, this is another little example. It's really important. This pain that I'm in, when they told me 6 months to a year to live, I said, what am I looking for at the end of my life? You know, I'm gonna have to get pain management under control. You know, I'm gonna have a medical assisted death. We can have that, that's my choice. And they're like, well, you're gonna be in pain here and pain there. Well, I just associated all this massive pain to what they planted in my head, that seed, and it had nothing to do with that. This would have been with me for the rest of my whatever life that they think I'm gonna have. And it's unacceptable to me. I'm gonna cause a big stink when I go home. And I'm gonna let people know, like, try different things. If somebody doesn't stand up, who's gonna, you know, how are people gonna find out about a place like this? You know, I'm going public here. I might even do a YouTube page. I had no help, you know, in the medical system. This could have been prevented, possibly, this cancer down in my ovaries, if I had been listened to. And I wasn't strong enough in my words. Now I am. When I go back, I want a CT scan. I want to see if this treatment that I've had has made a difference. And I believe it has.